Okay, since, Ezra Mam was running away with the Clive Churchill, we thought, and the 12 months or thereabouts since then, it has gone pear-shaped. UGLY, no need for an alibi, the Broncos. The latest incident, the Broncos star allegedly driving unlicensed during a crash in Brisbane via the Sydney Morning Herald. The NRL Integrity Unit and the Brisbane Broncos are awaiting the results of a drug test after Ezra Mam was involved in a head-on crash while allegedly driving unlicensed in Brisbane's West on Friday afternoon. Now, Mam was taken to hospital after a Ford Ranger incident he was travelling in struck a Toyota Camry being used as an Uber, carrying three people, including a young girl, just after 5 p.m. Now, Mam allegedly returned a positive result to a roadside drug test, but police were yet to officially confirm the results of a second test using blood samples. The results could take days or even weeks, perhaps, to return. The NRL hit Josh Addo-Carr with a fine and a suspension, understood to be 4 weeks. Now, the important part here is he was not involved in an accident, Josh Addo-Carr. Should police confirm a positive for Mam, he can expect a much heftier suspension, potentially as much as 8 to 12 weeks because other people were involved in the accident. Brian, what do you make of this? What type? We've already spoken about, we don't believe that NRL players are role models, and it is up to the parent. He's made a big blue here. What type of fine suspension do you think would be accepted by the rugby league community for Ezra?
I reckon because of what you said there, other people were involved in the accident and he was...
Unlicensed?
The unlicensed thing I don't get. I mean, driving, is it because it was suspended? I don't... Like, if you're...
Yeah, we don't...
Maybe he's lost his points. We don't know the full details, and we don't know the full details of the drug test. They're saying he's failed, but it could be...
Yep.
It could be prescription drugs.
Yep.
It could have been...
Okay, but let's play devil's advocate. Let's say it is what we have seen in the past. It is what they term an illicit drug.
I think he'll get... I reckon it'll be a big one. I'll say double. I reckon I'll give him 8 weeks.
Okay, let me ask you this. If it's 8 to 12 weeks, say it's 8 weeks, is the penalty bigger because there's been a number of these things happening? Josh Addo-Carr, Braden Trindle. Do you think if this was the first cab off the rank it happened, the penalty would be lighter, or do you think he'll pay the price?
No, I think he'll pay the price because it was an accident and there was 3 people.
No, but I'm saying even the timing of it. We've already had a couple. Do you think that he'll pay a slightly heavier fine because of what's happened in the past? And quite frankly, the NRL's just had a gutful.
Maybe so. And the get out for the NRL is to say, the reason why we're giving it 12 weeks is because that could go up to 12 weeks. But I see what you're saying. Maybe, it's going to be a line in the sand moment.
Okay.
Pardon the pun.
Okay, yeah. What about, so in February, Ezra Mam signs a $4 million deal with the Broncos, keeping him at the club until the end of 2029. Now, in February, a bloke called Michael Maguire was not at the club.
Yep.
So...
He's there now, though, and Ezra would have known he's there.
Yeah. So what happens? Like in other news, by the way, just to put this on your radar, the future of Ben Hunt is still in doubt. Vossi and Breeny had this to say. We'll go to this with Vossi and Breeny this morning about how Hunt and the possibility of him now playing at the Broncos could be an opportunity. Let's hear from Vossi and Breeny.
They can't fit. Like, there's been plenty of chat about, maybe you can go back to the Broncos. He can't go back to the Broncos. They haven't got any. They'd have no room in their salary cap to sign Ben Hunt. None. None. Yeah. Like, they've just upgraded all their key players. They've got no room.
But if Ezra Mam is sacked,
yes,
$800,000 a year he's on, they've got money to spend. Dragons would have to tip in 100 or 200 or something like that, I assume, for next year. Ben Hunt, I reckon Broncos are the favourites based on the outcome of the Ezra Mam story.
Okay, so...
I would not be getting rid of Ezra Mam. If I'm Madge Maguire and I'm the coach and your job is to win a premiership, I understand he'll get 12 weeks. But this, he's only 21. He's only a baby. We all make mistakes. He hasn't been coached by Madge yet. I reckon Madge will get the best out of him.
I don't think Wayne would risole him, and I don't think Madge will risole him. But it's a big call.
It is. I understand that.
Certainly. So the Broncos have had a big star like Ezra Mam before, who Ben Barber turned up there. Milford turned up there. That's all. Sorry, I was more referring to Milford. Milford turned up there, went within a pimple of winning a Clive Churchill. We never, ever saw anything remotely since that game. He went with a pimple of winning. Yeah. In fact, he was less than a pimple, a blackhead, away from winning the Clive Churchill. He was that good. He was that good, Ezra Mam. And even still, based on what Cleary did, he had a case still to win the medal.
What was the Paul Bunn quote that Bellyache uses?
About the
Talent?
Talent. Yeah, that's right. When
What is
hard
it?
work doesn't want to work hard. Talent beats hard work when hard work doesn't want to work hard.
Yeah. That's exactly
No, sorry, I've said that wrong. Hard work beats talent
when talent doesn't want to
talent
work.
doesn't want to work
That
hard.
is pretty much what Ezra is.
Yeah.
I think from looking, I don't know the kid from the outside in, all the talent in the world.
Yeah, but it doesn't guarantee he's going to go back to that hunger and desire and...
No, because he was just doing it on raw talent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But having a coach come in like Madge, who's going to make you work extra hard, now he's at the crossroads here because he could easily say to, like, he could be sacked and we're never seen again, and the $4 million contract ripped up.
Yeah, but that's people were talking before on Matty White's show. If he got sacked, he will be seen again.
Yes, I'm saying that. But will he get the $4 million? I don't know. But I think we've got to give him a chance under Madge.
Okay, so if you're Madge, and Madge is quite a conservative sort of buttoned-up sort of guy. If you're Madge and you could have, well, Broncos fans, call up and have your say, 1300 01 11 70.
Other fans, I imagine other fans will say, you get rid of him. But when it's your own team, look, it is a serious incident. We'll wait to see what happens with the second result from the drug test. But it's the fact that, and I don't know how bad was the accident. Was it just
Yep.
Was it a massive head-on? I don't know. Was it just a bit of a bumper bar?
Well, you know what?
I don't know what the
based on
was.
what we hear about these things, typically,
Yeah.
it feels on the minor side. And I don't know for facts, but typically, if it was a big incident, we'd know it was a big incident. That's my gut feel. Just going back to this, so Brian, if you're Madge Maguire, and this might be a very, very real scenario, if you could sign Ben Hunt for 2 years or keep Ezra Mam at the club,
for that money,
what would you do to win a comp?
Yeah, you just don't know. Like, there'd be people out there saying, "Well, I've lost family members from a guy or a female driving under the influence of drugs."
That's right.
So I think it is a bit more. The more I think about it, I think it's a bit more serious than we're giving it credit.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
I probably, if the NRL wanted to say, right, we're going to rip your contract up, do you think that's too harsh? Deregistering.
He's driving unlicensed for starters,
which is bad. But it's what we need to know about the second. If it comes back and it was
okay. I'll tell you this: if Ezra Mam had the same incident and it came back unlicensed, he would still be in deep trouble.
Yeah,
wouldn't he? He's unlicensed, had the accident, and now he's allegedly. It's a tough one. He's a kid, and as I said, I never go hard after these people because I've made 1,000 mistakes in
100%,
my life, and
100%.
And unfortunately, Brian will probably continue to do
Yeah.
so. But it's.
We could look at it like we're lucky that there was no one injured.
Yep.
But we'd be having a totally different conversation.
Correct.
Yeah.
Anyway, the open.
The NRL might turn around and go, right, we're going to give you 6 weeks, 6 months.
Yep.
They might turn around and give you, half the season.
Who knows? As I said, Braden Trinnell had his incident. Josh Adokar has had his incident. I think there's a statement the NRL are going to want to make, but I don't know for sure. Let's go to the open line because it's certainly fired up. Let's head out to Rosehill Gardens. And Anthony's standing by.
Get some mail.
Anthony, how are you, mate?
G'day, boys. How are you?
Good, Anthony. How are you?
Good, mate. Just on this Ezra Mam. He's 21. Everyone makes stupid mistakes.
Yep, agree.
They start getting paid from November 1, don't they?
Generally, the contract's from November 1. Yes, that is true.
Yeah. Right. If he comes back positive again, he should train with the squad up until round 1. I think they should give him 12 weeks suspension, 3 months no pay, and he's got to work in community service in those 12 weeks, 40 hours a week. And I think that'll wake him up.
Well, at the very least, if he misses 12 games, at the very least, I think the Broncos and the Broncos fans would be fairly entitled to, 12 parts of, if you assume they're going to play, I know it's 24 games a year, but if you assume they play a couple of finals, you could assume that 12 of 26 should be deducted from his contract. I think he would also accept that. The Broncos would accept that, and the fans would accept that at the very least, if that was the punishment.
Yeah, well, they're not going to tear up his contract. That won't happen. I think it's got to be a lot more serious. I know it's serious enough as it is, but it's lucky no one got hurt.
Mm. Yeah, that's the thing. I was putting my hat on if you were a victim of, and we don't know yet what if the second result's going to the second swab will come back positive.
Yeah, well, the truth of it is, Brian, like the real fair dingham stakes of it is this situation of Ezra Mam could vary from very, very, very serious to really an incidental thing that happened where he makes a very bad decision.
No, I think what you said, the fact that we've had 3 now of players driving testing positive.
Yep,
they'll come down a lot harder.
I think so.
I wonder if they could say, all right, we're ripping your contract up. Is that what Anthony was saying? Rip your contract up, but you can do a train and trial.
Yeah.
But then someone will come over the top.
That's the concern they have. Club. Gavin from Rockdale. G'day, Gav.
Boys, hi. It's maybe a little different take, controversial, I don't know. I would have thought Ezra's car would either be a company car or a sponsored car. I know Kia have got the Broncos, but more than likely, it's a car given to him by someone. In that case, most of the people that I know and work with that have a company car, there's absolute minimum expectations. Number one, it's your responsibility to have a proper license. It is absolutely, it doesn't matter what situation it is, if you're lost to the points, you are not permitted to drive that company car unlicensed. You're also, in most contracts when you're given a company car, it says very, very clearly you are not to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Very clearly, full stop, end of sentence. So he's done himself no justice there by doing that. It's absolutely stupid. Whether or not it's his company car, I don't know. And also say, I agree with you, Joe, these blokes are put on pedestals. They shouldn't be, but they are by young blokes. There's also something that will lead into the next point. The last 4 or 5 people that have been found here, Ezra was found guilty, Adokar, Latrell was found to have had some sort of white powder in his room, and Tricky Trindle. It's all now, and it's an epidemic around Sydney, it's this cocaine life. You don't care what you say, whoever you are. You walk into most business people, most business places, it could be you could be working for City Ford, you could be working at a pub. Most of the staff, no, that's a bad thing to say, a percentage of the staff will have had cocaine over the weekend if they're under the age of, say, 40 or 50. And if you did checks on them all, they would go for it. And then lastly but not least, and this may be a little bit more controversial than I want it to be, but none of those 4 guys, Ezra, Adokar, Latrell or Trindle, have had anyone from the Rugby League Players Association pop up anywhere and either give them their backing, slap them across the chops, or do anything yet. Nothing. There's been nothing from them. They've been kept very, very quiet at the RLPA.
Yeah, I think they may have behind closed doors.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I think they wait until they decide on what they're going to do. I'm pretty sure that they have had discussions with the Integrity Commission.
Gav, we've got to go to a break, but one thing I'll say, and I know this for a fact, a lot of these times when you bring up these discussions, people will say, the NRL doesn't do enough. I swear, and I've seen it firsthand, I've been involved in it, the National Rugby League do more for the youth in their industry than I reckon nearly any other industry does. It is, they do everything they can do, but at the end of the day, we're dealing with young people. I also think that the Rugby League Players Association, for the very first time in a long time, they're doing a wonderful job. And we've had them in here, Clint Newton, Jamie Burer, Tommy Simon. They are doing, for the very first time, we've seen Mickey Mouse players' unions come through. These guys literally have the players at heart. Let's go to the open line now. And Rob from Concord is there. G'day, Robbie.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Good, Rob.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I have no idea what a fair punishment or reaction to this is, but I don't want to be judge, jury and executioner, but I think we're putting light on what he's done. I think it's pretty bad. And yep, you're right, young kids make silly mistakes, right? But so did Junior Ramon. and his career's over.
Yep.
And I think that's what gets a lot of fans is the inconsistencies in it. And it's really dangerous comparing things. I don't want to compare the incidents, but the reality is a young guy got angry, made a stupid error, and he's paid the price with his career. Now, this guy's made a stupid error twice. A week before, and I don't know the details of it, but a week before he was under the pump for something stupid. And a week later he does this, and we're all going, oh, maybe. No maybes. If you're a St George supporter and you've been looking for a 5'8" for a long time and a captain that wants to go, it's absolutely killed us. Now, I'm not saying that.
But sorry, I agree, Rob, I agree with everything you're saying, but right now it has to be a maybe because it's all alleged. We don't have actually the firm facts. So if it was myself or yourself or a family member, we do have to give people the right to justice. You know, if it's, do you agree with that part?
I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. It's due process, right? And like I said, I don't know what fair is because there's so many, every case seems to be night and day. There's no consistency in it, and it's difficult comparing these things. But I just don't think we can. If it's true, and if he's pinged, there's got to be serious look at his career. Yeah. If Junior remains anything to go by.
Don't disagree. Heaps of calls coming through. We do need to get to a brief break, but we're happy to keep taking these calls. 1300 01 1170 or text 0457 736 736 is a way to do that. The run home with Joel and Fletch. Thanks to Hyundai.